to our pier. I once wondered, is there any way that I can make a difference in this community? And then I said to myself, who are you to make a difference? You're not going to make one. Nope. And then I got involved with Glitchgate. That made a difference. That made a big difference. That actually went across the water. In other words, it went from sea to shining sea. We had a group of people here that were not only intelligent, but were independent. But we found a way to get together, put all differences aside for that one small moment in time, and collaborate to make a change. What do I mean by change? The change was, we, as I called us back then, were the bottom feeders. A bunch of small channels that couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag before Glitchgate. We struggled to find any audience. What did we do? We found this exploitation on Torres that somebody else already knew about. And that somebody else was telling other people how to be great dashers and make lots of money by doing it as a top dasher. Well, we all fell for it. We all tried to become top dashers, didn't we? Long time ago. Watching these Pedros. Watching these Sin City deliveries. Watching these channels that seem to be doing so much better than we were. We looked at them for guidance, did we not? And when we got the guidance and it didn't work, we thought maybe we needed to keep watching their videos over and over again until we got it right. After all the time that we spent watching their videos, paying them per click, maybe even clicking on an ad or two that they had displaying on the side of their video. After all that, months went by. Many months. The money that they generated off of us, the things that they obtained, homes, cars, paying bills, things that we were trying to do but couldn't quite do. We still kept trying. And while we were trying, we were still going backwards, while they were going forward. When we found out that they, Pedro and Sin Cities, were using an advantage that they could have shared with us, but did not. When we found that out, yes, we were livid. We were upset. We had a change of heart. We did no longer believe them. As a matter of fact, we were disgusted with them. How could you possibly lead me down this path so that you could gain while you knew full good and well I was going to lose? All of us. You knew we were going to lose, but you did it anyway. And while you were doing that, you laughed at us for bringing up what you had done. You laughed at us. You called us every name in the book. You joked around about our wives, our lives, our mentality. You joked around about our friends. You poked at us nonstop, mostly due to the fact that we called you out for what you had done. I'm not sure what planet anybody lives on where they would not have done what we had done by getting upset about that. We got upset because of all the money that we lost. We got played. Yes, that makes you upset, Pedro. That would upset a lot of people. That would have upset you. What would you have done if you got played? Were you not upset when you got demonetized? I'm sure you were. The difference was that we had somebody to complain to, the person that actually screwed us over. Pedro could only appeal. He won. We yelled at Pedro. We yelled at Flex. We yelled at Cherry. We yelled at Sin Cities. So we won. Next level of the game. Here we are. The very group that brought that together, that destroyed the very people that were destroying us, had nowhere to go. They changed their channels. Their content has changed. They've moved on to better pastures. But that's not working out for them. So they still try to come back to us to this day. And what are they doing? They want that drama back. The very drama that they complained about. The very drama that Eli complains about. The very drama that made his channel survive. Without drama, Eli would not have content. You cannot coach people, Eli, and tell them what they are doing wrong, when you are in fact doing the same thing that they are. When you in fact attack anybody, call them mentally challenged, mentally ill, say anything negative about them, you in fact did the same thing that they said about you, did you not? So as a coach, would you not say that two wrongs don't make a right? What part of reality did you miss, Eli? We've been pointing that out to you. Many of us. Except for the $2.99 fucking I want to pay to be on your channel. Which to this day, I think that's your most obvious troll of all. Anybody that pays for advice from somebody that doesn't have any is a problem. I've been a long way on this path. One thing I've learned, most people, and I do mean most, that call out somebody else for doing the same thing that they've done are going in this vicious circle of, I don't know what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to try until something sticks. That's Eli. We all go through that, but Eli is stuck on it. Eli has done more harm than good. That's what I would like to see removed from the community that I knew before Eli showed up. Eli is every bit as bad as Pedro. They're actually the same person. One of them is chasing a rainbow and one of them is chasing dollars.
Squeaky.
I don't know which one is which anymore. Both of them want something. Both of them will do anything to get it. Eli, I have a word for you. Discombobulation. Look that one up in the dictionary. Check out discombobulation out. Discombobulation starts with just a hot mess. That's the street definition. A hot mess. I once thought that you had a great message with a terrible delivery. And I was willing to listen. I was warned by many people that you're bad news. I normally don't take that into effect. The only thing I take into account is what I know.
Squeaky, squeaky.
That's where you kind of fucked up.
Squeaky.
You go off blocking people. You're trolls, as you call it. Why do you pay attention to trolls, Eli? Why do they offend you? As a life coach, you should know something better than anybody else does. It's not what other people think about you, Eli. It's what you think about yourself. Why do your trolls affect you so well? Why do they bother you that much? You do realize that as your trolls get blocked, that means that you are, in fact, butthurt. I usually don't use street terms when I'm talking like this, but this time it applies. Eli, when you block people, that means you are butthurt. Your channel is not being protected when you block trolls. Look at Uber, Jeep, Arizona. He's more flamboyant than I am. And he's making more money than you are. They have not flagged his channel. I do believe he's worse than Eddie Murphy. He says fuck about every 3 seconds. He's got every word in the dictionary that's foul, and he uses them throughout a 4-hour period.
Squeaky.
Eli. So what is your rated G content for? You're not making a difference. You're not setting anybody straight. You're not making any changes. You're not coaching anybody. But you are pissing them off. And the ones that you're not pissing off aren't following you. They're using you. And when I say using you, there's nothing better when you're a bully than finding the dumbest person in the fucking gymnasium and just pulling his pants down right in front of everybody so we can all see his underoos. And that's you, Eli. If you want to talk about somebody's mental illness, it is a strong possibility that most psychologists and psychiatrists also see psychologists and psychiatrists themselves to keep themselves in check. You ought to give that a try. Find a real life coach in your life. In the real though, not on YouTube. I don't believe YouTube is the place to find guidance. YouTube is the place to find entertainment and potentially some tips and tricks on life. Maybe. But I know this. I spent some time with Jeff Thomas Black tonight. And contrary to popular belief, Jeff Thomas Black and I had a very good conversation on his live. You can check out his channel. It should be popping up. It's about 6 hours long. I was in there for about an hour and a half. Towards the very end. I don't know what you guys are going to get out of that, but I got something out of it. And that's why I did it. I got something out of it. That is a community that I was involved with for a very long time. I spent the whole summer with Glitchgate. It was a wonderful experience. I have that under my belt, Eli. You did not do a fucking thing with Glitchgate, dude. Nothing. We did Glitchgate. All of us, not you. You came in at the last minute. And then you suffered the consequences for not getting acknowledged, for having a big part of it. None of us that were involved with Glitchgate take credit for it. But as a group, we killed it. You had nothing to do with it. We still have got a few channels popping up here and there, once in a while. This Billings guy, John Billings, or whatever his name is. I haven't really gave it much thought. It's at the tip of my tongue. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm thinking about busting him up. I asked Jeff Thomas Black about that. He really couldn't give me a straight answer, but it was close enough. He called it hate. A slip of the tongue. I know where his head is. It's no big deal. It's not a problem for me. At least he was real. He calls it hate. I call it being real. Sometimes hate comes out that way, Eli. Sometimes real comes out that way. You got to decide which is which. We can't babysit you, man. I'm not going to babysit you. I'm just going to tell you where you fucked up. Babysitting you is somebody else's job. It's got nothing to do with me. I cannot hold your hand here. I'm not asking anybody to hold your hand here. I'm asking you to fucking man up. Just straighten your act. And I don't mean like in life. I mean straighten your act up here. Jeff Thomas Black has a pretty good act. I got a pretty good act. Stand alone. Those who believe in what you're saying, they'll be around when you say it. That's it. There's nothing else. We don't have enough of those. People that actually make videos or lives with their face, you know who they are. You got something to base your shit off of. But you would rather believe in your troll accounts that agree with you than people with real videos, real lives, real faces, real backgrounds, real history. You don't want to believe them because they don't agree with you, but you believe a troll account that you know nothing about because it does agree with you. That's not a life coach, dude. That's a life problem. And your problem is extensive. You need more than therapy. You need some good pot, man. You need to bring it down a notch. Get laid or something. Do something to relax your senses. Get back to reality. I'm not really sure why you'd want to come and say something like what you said tonight in Robert Reese's Live. I'm not really sure. You act as if you want this to go away. Me? How's that going to go away if you bring me up? You know, I've only got one plate here. I'm not going to tell you how the world works. I'm not going to tell you how politics work. I'm not going to tell you how socialism works. I'm not going to tell you how DoorDash works. So I'm not going to tell you any of those things because I don't know anything about them. I live it on a day-to-day basis like most real people. I figure it out on a day-to-day basis. When it happens, I deal with it and see what works. But you say you have the answers. You say you have a system that works. Well, then why are you here? To share that? So what have you shared? Did I miss it? Did we all miss what you shared? You're too busy talking about people that hate you to get your point across? Are you discombobulated to the point to where you don't know what your point is anymore? Oh, we know what your point is. We hear it on a daily basis. You repeat yourself. You're not a broken record. You're just a record that doesn't actually have an end. You don't know, so you repeat yourself until you think people can hear what you said 6 months ago. How are you helping people with that? Is it possible that maybe you just think that people are listening to you and you're going to go to sleep with that? What people are listening to you, Eli? What people have made a positive video response to you? What people have believed in you in the last year? Outside of your family household. Ask yourself that. And if it's not clear, I'll help you out. No. I'll help you out. It's a handful of people, Eli. That says a lot about 6,000 subscribers, which 5,998 don't give a fuck about you. They never have. Maybe when you buy subscribers, that happens. Drama's good if you use it correctly, Eli. Prime example of that. Drama's a wonderful tool. Drama gets people to the point. They're not going to listen to you if you just read. Look, I'll give you an example. If I was to just read the Bible to you, you'd turn me off, would you not? But if I was to go nuts on the Bible and explain to you why this part makes sense and that part doesn't, and give you my flavor, you might listen. You're regurgitating everything that you think that you learned in life from somebody else, from some book, from some stage of life that none of us can relate to. And you used a lot of people to get there. You've stepped on a lot of toes. Those people got mad. Those people don't respect you anymore. They've warned a lot of other people about you. In the meanwhile, new people have popped up like me and a few others. And what have we found out? That Coach Eli 2 is a contradiction in terms. It doesn't mean he's a life coach. It means it's a channel name intended to reach out to people and give them advice. Such the advice that they can't use in real life. Walking down a trail, talking about other people in any way, shape, or form that's negative is not life advice, Eli. Life advice would be explaining to people how to ignore it. Improving it by ignoring it and moving on. And showing people how things work. Real life advice. We all know people suck. We don't need you for that. We all know trolls are jokes. We don't need you for that. We all know it's easier to block people that you don't like. We don't need you for that. And we also know that you have nothing to offer this community other than 2 left feet. We see you walking in circles. We saw you hit a wall, and still you won't stop. And when you repeat something that doesn't work, that's what this society and all professionals in the psychological world call crazy. You, Eli, are crazy. I, Eli, am here to point out crazy people. Lucky you. Torp out.